Hey, what's up? This is Gary Owen. Get Some Podcast. I got Chris Spencer today. That's him. He's a director.
I love how you said that first, because that is my new moniker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just directed me in a movie.
I did, and you were... Can we cuss?
Yeah.
I'm still not going to. It was freaking fantastic. No, you were fucking amazing.
Yeah?
Oh, my God. I assembled a dream team. But we'll talk about other people later.
No. I don't want to
talk about me.
All right. Comedian, writer,
Mm-hmm.
ex-host of Vibe,
Damn. These people aren't old enough. Your fans are young.
How Do We Miss South Central, Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, something like that.
Something like that.
What,
Producer was also one of my titles.
producer?
Another show I put you in, Real Husbands of Hollywood. I don't know why.
Just one episode.
Yeah, but it was good.
Yeah, but it was just one.
I know. But it was your audition for the movie.
What, 7 years later?
7 years. I was like, you know who we should get? That guy, that white guy that killed. You and Faizon were in the scenes together, man?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. I like Faizon, bro.
Golly, dude. The
One of my favorite people.
off-screen stuff.
He's one of my favorite people on the planet.
Yes. Faizon Love is a genius. I watched this other bad movie he did, just so I could, after we did our movie, I said, let me just go watch Faizon. What was the movie that Damon Wayans did with Adam Sandler?
Well, there was Cops, or there's On the Run.
They were cops. So Faizon redid that with Kirk Fox in South Africa, and just watching Faizon, his subtleties.
He said he did a movie in South Africa, but he didn't tell me what it was.
Yeah.
He goes, I went to South Africa.
It starts with a T. But he was so funny, dude.
You don't,
He oozes funny.
until you're around him and you start working with him, you're like, oh, now I get why you work so much.
Yeah.
Now
dude,
I get it.
But some of this, to watch him do whatever he did, and then to see you in tears.
Dude,
You made me laugh more.
he broke me so many times.
Oh my God.
I'd be on the scene going like this.
He's so, listen, as I'm watching this bad movie, what's it called? Train Spotting Transformers? Bulletproof 2, yes. Yo, and this is, a word you don't use, he has Eddie Murphy-like comedic timing in this movie. In Bulletproof 2, yes. The movie wasn't bulletproof, but Faizon was.
It's like Meet Dave Eddie or Beverly Hills Cop Eddie.
Beverly Hills Cop Eddie.
Yeah.
His facial expressions. He's just, and sometimes you think, because he's a big guy, you kind of naturally give them the pass for being funny. No, he's fucking funny if he was small.
Dude, I think I'm only broke like, and all the films I've done or TV shows, there's only been like 2 or 3 times in my life where I couldn't hold it together.
Right.
It was every day.
Damn,
when I had scenes with him, I'd be like, because I go in, if I saw him on the couch, I go, oh, fuck. He's going to come in.
Yeah.
He's going to literally do this. What are we doing?
Yes.
What scene?
Right.
I said, I was up all night reading everybody's lines so nobody could throw me.
That's the only thing bad about working with comedians. Well, not all, because JB was always prepared, and Bill some of the time. No, Bill was for the most part, but Faizon, what's the line? I'm like, this is the first fucking line in the scene.
It's hello.
Good morning. But as soon as he got it, he got it.
God, the guy was so good.
He's a genius.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, I loved working with him and hated it because I go, okay, I'm not going to be in the scene.
Right.
Because they got to cut me out because I'm laughing too hard.
Dude, there's a scene where you guys all get about to get arrested before you go talk to the cop. I don't want to give this fantastic movie away called Back on the Strip, starring Gary Owen, Bill Bellamy, Faizon Love, JB Smoove, Tiffany Haddish, Wesley Snipes. That was such a great get.
Yeah.
But when you guys are getting, I don't want to give it away, but when you guys get pulled over, Lord, he's not even doing anything, and the camera, your eyes automatically go to him. Your eyes just go to him. He just has it.
Where'd you meet Faizon? Like you think about you, and I'm so excited having you on a podcast, and I don't know what stories you can or cannot tell.
I'll tell everything
because
me and Quincy Jones on the boat with the girl. Oh no,
yeah,
maybe not that one.
He's on the island with Jeffrey Epstein. What? No, it was great. I did put him on the manifest. I told him I was Chris Tucker. They fell for it.
It works every time.
That's the thing. I said, man, off camera, I always heard like in Living Color, David Allen Greer was the funniest off camera because this way he told stories and could get in character. And he was funny on the show too. Don't get it twisted.
Yes.
When you think in Living Character, you don't think of David Allen Greer right off the bat.
Right. Because Jim and Damon were so prominent. Yeah.
But I was like, dude, off camera,
brilliant.
Bill Bellamy can tell stories, but they're fucking long.
They're long.
He doesn't have short stories.
Yeah. And I thought HBO was in the building when he was telling that one story.
They're great stories, but they're fucking long.
They're long. JB's are long too.
JB,
but he's so animated.
Yeah, JB acts his stories out though. Like he literally acts them out. Bill tells it, and then Bill does this when he tells stories. My man. And then I told him, and he said, when he started telling stories, I would get somebody in between us. So I wasn't bruised. My man, dang. I was like this.
It was bananas.
Yeah.
Everything is bananas.
Yo, we at the Soul Train Awards 2000. Bananas. I was like, who's in the story, Bill? Get to the story.
Oh, my God.
Yo, JB acted out. Your stories are right to the fucking point.
Oh, really?
They get right to it, and you're just like this. You're at the edge of your seat. Because there's going to be a payoff.
Right.
Some people tell a story, and you got to give them a fake. Oh, that was a good one. That was, all right. That was way too long for that ending. I know yours is going to have a payoff.
Oh, thank you.
That's all. Let
me tell you how good your stories are. We were shooting a scene, and we had cut to switch cameras, and we were out there telling stories for like a good 10 minutes. I said, where's Gary? I went and got you, and you jumped into this fucking fiery fucking double dutch of storytelling and jumped into your story about you doing stand-up for the first time on Santa Monica Boulevard or some gay club.
The Rage.
Yo, the fact that there was no like, oh, let me listen and see what's going on. You just jumped in and was murdered. I was like, that's why I got him and not Mike Rappaport.
Don't you wonder though about movies like this being this movie we just did Back on the Strip, first directorial movie, and I know it was a big deal for you by your speech at the end. But do you ever?
I didn't mean to cry.
Why not, dude? People work their whole lives for that stuff.
So I'm getting tight right now.
I cried when BET canceled the Gary Owen show. I was like, I can't do that again. I literally got the show, rolled the dice, called it the Gary Owen show, and it got killed in one season. I go, I can't do it again. I can't do the Gary Owen show.
Bob Newhart did it. You could do it. He had about 3 or 4 Bob Newhart shows. Gary. The Owen.
But you ever think, like, I don't know who else was up for certain roles, but looking back, you're like, how would that movie have turned out if that? Because you hear, like, Tom Selleck was up for Indiana Jones before that. You hear Will Smith was up for The Matrix.
Right.
Then you start to think, like, how would that have turned out if?
Let me tell you something. I'm not going to say who, but 3 of the 4 people of the chocolate chips, what you guys were, was on my original dream wall, on my poster, and you're one of them.
I remember that.
And I remember when we were going through it with your lawyers and your agent, and you know your scheduling and whatever money, and they're like, "What you got to replace him?" My wife was like, "You can't replace Gary Owen."
Damn, I should have known that. Would ask for more shit.
Yeah, no.
Damn it.
She was like, "There's who are you gonna replace him with?" And they were like, "Zac Efron," and not Zac Efron or whatever the Zac is. And she started. They named all these people. I was like, "They won't. They can't do this." Like you are so unique, and it's not just your personality and love from the community, but besides all that, like. Your style of humor is unmatched on stage and on screen. And so once we were like, oh, that's the guy, we were like, fuck it, we got to wait until he's ready. Yeah, it was.
God, I could have asked for way more.
Yeah, there was no more. You got it all. It's called Favored Nation.
It wasn't, but this was not. I've done movies where I didn't make anything. I lost because people think you do a movie, you're all of a sudden a millionaire.
Especially your family. Yeah.
Oh, fuck them. But
I forgot you're going through a little something.
Not them. About the mom, dad.
No, that's what I'm talking about.
But like I've done movies where I was like, man, as a stand-up, I can make way more this month than doing the movie.
And I apologize for us. I know you lost money when we kept pushing the dates back. So
well,
when you get this damn Oscar for this shit you did.
Well, Faizon's gonna take it.
Right.
I'll be like this.
He's in a different category. You're leading and he's supporting.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. This movie got canceled in July. I took the whole month off. My lawyer goes, don't do it. Don't do it. You got to pay to play. I was like, we're good. It's Chris. Then you called me and I was like this. I took July off. I have no work.
You make a lot of money on the road, don't you?
I do pretty good. I was like this. I do pretty good.
That's good.
Especially out of the clubs, man. I still don't do theaters in Houston because you pull too much money out of the improv.
Give me an example. What do you mean?
Like, I'll get offered like, what is it? The Arena Theater.
Right.
And the money's great for one night, but I was like, I can't.
If you go to Houston, you'll do what, 5, 6 shows?
Oh, no, I'm doing 2 weeks now. I do 2 weeks there.
In Houston?
Yeah, I'm doing the first 2 weeks of December. I do back-to-back weeks.
Is that Tuesday through Sunday?
No, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, yeah.
Now, the second week, I could add Monday if you feel like it.
It's like that.
Dude, Houston. But that's everybody. Houston, I think, is the top urban drawing club in the country as far as ticket sales.
That's a big-ass club, too.
I know, but they know how to, for whatever reason.
They're great at marketing.
But everybody will tell you that. That's when you see people going, yeah, just sold out Houston Improv. I go, not impressed. Like everyone, they sell tickets there. When you start adding shows, that's impressive because it is such a massive.
At what year? I'm about to interview you. When did it change? Like when did you go from $2,500 a week until you started getting door deals?
2012.
And then was there an event? Was there a movie? Was there a show?
Stars aligned. So I always say my career was decent. I got Comic View late 90s, 2000. But I was a hamster on the treadmill.
Right.
Did the colleges for like 2-3 years. Got too old to do that. Colleges is great money. And then I'm just kind of, work, get a movie here, movie there, small parts. And then 2011, Will called for Think Like a Man.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was I filmed Think Like a Man in 2011. Came out in 2012. I did True Story the end of 2011. That came out in 2012. So I did my hour special. The movie came out, which fed right into the fan base.
Right.
Then I hosted the Shaq tour. Then they made me, I did that for Showtime. So at one point, Showtime, I had the Mike Epps Live from the Nokia.
Right.
It was 2010, didn't come out 2011. So that was my best 20 minutes.
Ever? It's
pretty strong because Tiger just got in trouble.
Right.
That's the first time I did the black church joke.
Right.
Everything.
This when you guys were all in the suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
the 20. That 20 minutes. And backstage was funny because nobody wanted to go last. Everybody was back there. I don't want to go last. And we had 2 shows, and I just went, I'll go last. And I was like, all right. And I can't remember who I followed, but it was a lot of dick pussy.
Right.
And then I go up there talking about church. Morris Chestnut was in the front, so I just winged a Boys in the Hood joke.
Was that the first time you did the church joke?
On camera. Yeah, on camera. That's why I was like this. I got strong 20. I was thinking the Tiger Woods bitch strong, and I got that church. Everything else was just kind of, I didn't know where I was going. So between Mike Epps Live from the Nokia, Think Like a Man, True Story, my hour special, then I hosted the Shaq All-Star Jam. I was on Showtime. I was on Showtime in a year, 3 different times. I had Live from the Nokia, True Story, and the Shaq All-Star thing. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
All over. Think Like a Man comes out. Huge hit.
Right.
That gets me on some of the talk shows. So that's when the stars line. That's when I was like, oh. And I remember the first city where I was selling tickets was Phoenix. And
So wait. So tell me what normal is in Phoenix. And then you were like, oh shit.
Normal was
You don't
like,
even tell me the money. Just how many shows, how many sold out. Like if you did
it wasn't about sold out and adding shows. It was more about they're paid. These are paid people. They're not papering.
Right.
So if the room has 400 people, that's 400 people that paid. It's not 200 paid and 200 free.
Right.
There's a huge difference.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I just remember Casey, who's my favorite manager in the country, who's now, I think he opened up a comedy club in San Diego. I'll never forget. I was in.
Oh, I just heard David Arnold just did like stand up New York, or I mean not stand up New York, some stand up.
No, it's a new club. I don't think
brand
it's
new.
open.
It's like
is
a
it?
month.
Okay,
Yeah.
he did it. He did it then. I remember Casey was sitting there and he'd been with me through the grind, right? When not making a lot of money really. And I went in the office. He was like this. And he handed me the check. And I looked at it and I went, what is this? He goes, ah.
Wow.
And then his hands went like this. And he was like, it's here. It's here. I was like this. What's going on? And I went to Phoenix. I was like, I'm calling my agent at the time and my manager going, dude, is this right? Is this right? And they go, yeah, enjoy it. Like, kind of arrived. And then we got the ticket counts from Dallas and Houston was the next 2 weeks. And both of them was through the roof. And I went, oh, shit. I'm selling tickets. It's a weird feeling when you start selling tickets.
No, I remember Russell was a good friend of ours. He had done the equivalent of a Comedy Central special up in Canada. And he was going about his life. And then, like a year later, he was doing a show. They're like, Russell, we want to add a show to your, whatever, Saskatchewan date. He's like, okay, because, he's Canadian. They're like, okay, we want to add another one. He's like, okay, and another one, and another one, and another one. And he was like, he had like 13 shows that week.
Wow.
He goes, that's strange. And the next week, we want to add a show. We want to add a show. And he was like, what the hell is going on? And so what happened was, he talks about a lot of different cultures.
Yeah.
Asians, Indians, Jamaicans, Trinidadians. And so people were taking his bits and sending it to everybody in their culture.
Thank you.
So my mom, our family's Jamaican. She's like, do you know who Russell Peters is? Look at this. And it was him talking about Jamaicans. So he went viral, and that's how his started to hit. So I remember he was sleeping on my couch. So I remember the feeling he had seeing himself start to blow up. So that must be a great feeling.
Especially when you, as road comic, you grind.
Right.
Because sometimes I'll be like, man, I'm so glad I got stand up because if I just got out in this business for acting,
right,
dude, I'd be a struggling actor.
Right.
Because those residual checks are nice and movies are nice, but
in between,
I think over the last 10 years, I've done at least one movie a year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, they're not calling me, they're not busting down my door, but the calls come out of left field or an audition comes out of left field and I get it. So it's like, I am working.
Do you think that is that due to you not living in town?
No, I've turned down stuff too.
Yeah.
Because the money wasn't right.
Right.
I mean, what's a couple things I don't want, like Marlon I turned down 2 movies with Marlon. And this isn't a knock on Marlon at all.
Right.
This is just the money they offered for the size of the role and how long they wanted to hold me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm passing.
Right.
Because
of the road.
Yeah, the road. It was way too much money. Like, what was the one, Naked?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got offered a part in Naked.
Right.
And I almost took it and I went, I was thinking about it, like, this role, is there any place in this in this movie I could steal something?
Right.
And I was like, it'd be obnoxious.
Right.
For this character. And I was like this. Nah, it just wasn't worth it. So I mean sometimes I look back and I have to remind myself, go, oh, I have turned down stuff.
Right.
And sometimes the stars align. Will Packer called me for the one with Issa Rae and the little girl.
Photograph or whatever.
It came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And he literally, I remember he goes, hey man, got this part. It's like a week. And I was like, all right. It was the only week I couldn't do it because I was shooting a pilot.
Wow.
And I was like, what are the chances?
Right.
The 1 week he wanted, and I go, Will, there's 3. I said, there's 52 weeks in a year. This is the only week. The only week this year, when looking at my calendar, that I couldn't do it. Because I rolled the dice on the pilot, and the pilot didn't get picked up. But that movie didn't pan out like they thought either. What movie was that?
It's like I thought it was him and
Regina
Lakeith.
King. I mean, Regina Hall.
Oh, with the
little girl from Blackish.
Yeah. Some kind of grown up or
Yeah, she becomes a little girl.
It was a cute little movie too.
Yeah, it was cool, but it wasn't.
Right.
There was it wasn't gonna do nothing.
Right.
Like it would have been like, cool, that's Gary Owen, but it wasn't gonna be like,
oh,
who's that guy? Call him.
Right.
It wasn't like Tiffany Haddish and Girls Trip.
Right. Yeah.
I thought, Tiffany's in our movie too.
Yes.
I thought the days of one role blowing up was over till Tiffany did Girls Trip.
Yeah.
I thought it was like you just pepper them,
right,
and then they finally come around. I thought those days was done.
No, I mean, and of course, our good friend Kevin Hart was like, one of the kings in your first movie that you mentioned. Think Like a Man. Like he stole the movie. And
well,
that's what kind of.
Jerry Ferrera said it best.
What did he say?
We did the table read, and I remember as a comedian, I'm sitting there going, "This fucker's got all the funny lines."
Right?
I'm literally going like this. I'm just trying to get mine in because my part wasn't that big and Think Like a Man. So I'm going, God damn, another one?
Yes.
And Jerry Ferrera said it best. He said, when we got up from that table read, everybody knew Kev was set up to hit a home run. We didn't know how far he was going to hit it.
Right.
He hit it out the stadium. But, and he always says, that was a strong cast to feed off of.
Right.
I was like this because I was the novice. I was nervous on set every day when I had back and forth, just because, you know, I'm looking at Ely, and that was the first time I had a big role with an ensemble, and I was going, oh man, I don't want to fucking forget my line. And I just remember the first day we was all really together. I couldn't stop sweating. That fucks me up the whole shoot. We was in the bar on Rush Street. Oh my God, Chris, I had this jacket on. Well, first I didn't have a jacket, and I'm sitting back on the bar, and they said to get ready to shoot, they got to turn off everything, the air, and I'm a little claustrophobic. Nobody knows it, not enough to freak out, but just it makes me uncomfortable when people are on both sides of me. So I'm sitting here, and I'm in the middle, and I'm just starting to leak. And I'm going.
First, there's that one from the armpit.
No, the one, the single strand that comes down your back.
Yes.
And I went, oh fuck. And I was like, so now I'm like this. I know the scene. I'm fine, but I'm going, is this as bad as I think? And literally, right before we shot, I leaned up, and then my focus went, oh, my back.
Soaking.
Damn. How do you fix that? Put a jacket on them. Let's make them hotter. So they're just, the rest of the shoot, they was calling me Sweaty Jackson because Samuel Jackson from A Time to Kill.
So funny.
And I was just like, fuck, man.
Right.
I remember thinking it was going to cost me work. Like, they're not going to hire me again.
Such a good movie.
And the one guy goes, you know, John Travolta's a sweater. Like, one camera guy or something goes, I worked him numerous times. Guy sweats all the time. Don't worry about it. I'm like, that made me feel a lot better. Thanks.
Oh,
yes, I was just thinking, fuck, dude. I just told him he sweat. In the second one, you're comfortable now. Now you're fine.
Let me ask you a question. I know this is my interview, but this is things I've always wanted to know. You kill everywhere. Is there other parts of the country where you don't do as well? Are you better in Midwest, South?
Oh, Northeast is the worst.
You told me that before.
You can have them. You get Boston up. Fine. I love how 3 people DM me. Right. When you come here, you sell out. No, I won't.
What? Not in Boston?
Maybe Boston, but I'm talking about.
I know Rhode Island,
Providence, Syracuse, Albany. But
why do you think that is?
And it's starting to change because I did do Hartford right before COVID, and we packed it out. And I remember UTA called me going, nah, now you ready to go Northeast? And then we went, and it brought me back to reality again. I don't know where I was. I was like, I called him. I said, don't ever send me there again. Not in the winter. I don't know. It's just not consistent. Like some cities, Dallas, Houston, Chicago, Atlanta. You know it's going to be packed.
Right.
Northeast, I don't know. I'll be like, this could be ugly as shit.
What about like Portland, Tacoma?
I haven't done Portland in probably 6-7 years. Mm-hmm. Seattle, I do good.
Yeah.
It's not crazy, but I do good.
I envy all of this because, you know, I'm back on the road, right? And I ain't even back on the road. This is my first time, like, on the road with a purpose. Like, before, I was the opening act, and I was fortunate enough to do commercials and TV and stay in town. And then when I was like, you know what, I need to get serious, then the babies happened. And I never was a road guy. So when I would see you guys in the airport, you know, I'm coming from, you know, everything I did was maybe a corporate gig or I hosted a golf tournament and would hear you guys. Or remember that time I saw you in D.C.?
Yeah.
Fuck, these guys are real comedians. Seriously, I see DL, Aries, Corey, Bill. I'd be like, damn, they just did fucking 5 nights in a club and there was chicken wings and women. And I'm like,
women.
You know, seriously. And I was like, I always envy that. So now I'm on the road and people know me, but they don't know me. Like they know me when I'm leaving. Man, I wish I'm at the airport at TSA. You was in town. Yeah, I was in town. I didn't hear nothing. I said, I don't know.
I love when people say that, like, man, they got promoted better. I go, really? I sold 4,000 tickets.
See, yours is different. I sold 400 tickets, so it's great to now I'm grinding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm grinding to. I've had
Are you working on a special now? Or
Yes, I'm working on a special.
Are you just gonna do it yourself and try to sell it, or do you have?
I've had offers for people to pay for it, but I haven't had. I don't know where it's going to be or where it's going to live, and so I'm trying to figure out what's the route. Do I Joe Coy it and pray Netflix buys it?
I've done that. It's good and bad. Like, you know, like the Wayans will always say, "Do everything yourself."
Yes.
I remember Keenan. When we were shooting Little Man, he's always like, "Do it yourself." That's
their mantra. Yeah.
And I was like, I've done it myself and lost money.
Right.
Because what I paid for it and what I sold it to Showtime for,
right.
I lost money. I was like, man. Granted, I can always put it on YouTube because I own it. I can put it on social media stuff, and the goal is to make it. You know, my life is based off road money. It's not off movie money.
Right.
Like, when I got the checks for the movie, I was like, oh, this is extra. You know what I mean? Like, wow,
and we paid them a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, that was the second most I've ever made, outside of back end stuff.
Right.
Think like, man, we killed on the back end.
I can imagine.
We hit all the bonuses.
Right.
I was like,
bonuses, and then
when I first saw it, I was like,
how much was it, Gary?
I'm not gonna tell you, but the bonus didn't kick in until the movie made $50 million.
Right.
And I remember when I signed the deal, I was like, we're never gonna see that. Cause I literally researched the stuff. I was looking how much like Boomerang made, or movies that I thought was hits,
comparable.
You know, The Wood, stuff like that. Players Club. I was like this. Oh, we're never gonna make this.
Yeah. Oh, they top at 30.
Man, we hit all the bonuses.
Right.
And then the second one hit like 2 or 3. But I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this.
He's like, oh shit, what did Kevin get?
Oh, I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about it. Especially when I get my residual checks sometimes. I go, I wonder how much Will Packers is.
Yes. Listen, let me tell you how rich Kevin is. I've been at his office, and I've seen superstars walk into his office. Like, they came to him. One time, we were on the set of Paramount shooting Real Husbands, and the president of Universal came to his trailer. So that's like some Crips coming to a blood meeting saying, we want you to join the Crips.
Yeah, I don't like that dude. You talking about Kevin Hart?
Yeah.
No.
I was at his office one time. Antoine Fuqua walked in the door. I'm like, you come to Kevin. Kevin doesn't come to you.
Yeah, but it's an amazing office.
It's not even a real office. That's like the Beverly
floor.
Center. It's the Beverly Center with filing cabinets.
No, Kevin stunted on me so hard one day. So we always bet on the Eagles Bengals, and he always makes me wait forever to pay me. So finally, I DM'd him, or I called him out on social media. I go, you ever gonna pay me, bro? Because it was like, we're going on a year and a half. So he calls me on left field. He DMs me, goes, what's your cell? Because his clearly had changed. And then he calls me, Gary, you in town? I said, I just landed in the LA, because that's why I hit him up. He goes, come by the office. I got your money. I go to the office. He's sitting there. Eating some licorice. Got his feet up. I'm going, what's up, man? He goes, okay, I got your money here. Here's your $2,000 that I owe you. He goes, I'm going to give you $3,000 in heartbeat production credit. So the next bet we make can be up to $3,000, and you got a credit because it made you wait so long. We still haven't made the second bet. Now,
so wait, he gave you $5,000?
No. The bet was $2,000.
Right.
He gave me $2,000, and then he said the next bet we make can be up to $3,000, and if I win, he has to give me $3,000. But if I lose, I don't have to give him shit because he made me wait. That's nice. Credit.
Right.
And he proceeded to show me his whole goddamn
it's ridiculous
floor. It was the LOL side. Now I heard he's got a soundstage for Cold as Balls.
It's 2 sound stages.
Sorry.
So wait. You went to where they shoot shit. He still has another office in Encino.
No, I went to the Encino office.
Okay, so there's
I knew about the soundstage.
2 sound stages. So he has that whole floor with LOL here and Heartbeat here, and then in Chatsworth, he has 2 fucking sound stages. That's where they shoot Cold as Balls. Yeah, he's doing well.
Well, I have a podcast set.
Yes.
And that's a fan made that.
Boom.
Kev doesn't have that.
What about this?
He doesn't have that.
Nope.
He doesn't have an octopus.
Right?
Yeah. Fucker.
He has that in gold, actually.
He doesn't have this.
He don't.
He doesn't have this.
He has one as Kendrick Lamar, though.
He did. Damn it. He doesn't have a gold plane. He has a real plane.
Yes, but this is way better than his plane.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm happy for him. I'm the guy. I don't know how you are, but we know those comics that I thought we got in this business, we all got along.
Right.
And you get to know the jealous guys, you know the energy's off.
Right.
And I'm one of those guys, like, I just want to be cool with everybody because you don't know when that phone call's coming.
Right.
And you want people to be like, Gary's got good energy.
Right.
It's not gonna be drama.
Right.
And
but I don't even think you do it for that. I think Gary Owen is just an all-around nice guy. It's not like you have an ulterior motive. I'm gonna be nice in case he does something special. Like, everybody loves Gary Owen, right? And I think that's why you work so much. It's like, we know if we call him, it's going to work. He's going to kill. We don't have to worry about him. He's going to know his lines. He's going to be there on time. And so you've kind of established yourself as the go-to guy with that. What I would love to do, which is why I started directing, is a lot of these people who are great Scottie Pippens, like, I want to see them be Jordan. Like, I would love to create something for you or with you where you are the guy and we see your ensemble. You know what I mean? Because I think it's time.
Yeah.
You're 60, and how many
eat black pussy, it keeps you young.
like, how many more black, best friends are you gonna be? And the white best friends in the black movie are you gonna be? Right?
Well, I was conscious. The last couple of films I did, I was very conscious not to try to hit the race card so much. Because it kind of is, it's a little crutch for me because I know how far to push the envelope.
Right.
Without going too far.
Right.
And I know I've made my life off that.
Right.
So our movie's a little different, as people will see.
Yes.
But I didn't want to, I was very conscious, especially with my ad-libs, not to beat a dead horse, so to speak.
Right.
If I did do a race joke, it had to hit.
And then they did.
You know what I mean?
They did.
You know, I can't do it every time. Because I just did a movie with David Koechner.
Love him.
And he's one of my favorite people.
Our kids used to go to school together.
Oh, my God.
That motherfucker is a genius.
I want him on. He couldn't do it this round, but when I say I was in awe, because similar to Faizon coming to set and not know anything, here I am. I got a couple lines every scene, but I didn't have no monologues this movie. This mug, we'd have 5 pages, and he had 4 back and forth with the lead. And he'd come in, we go out to eat the night before, and I was like, okay, I'm thinking I got to get back to the room and study these lines and stuff. This guy was like, what are we doing tomorrow? And we get on set, goes, what's up, G-Money? What we shooting today? I was like, you fucking didn't look? And he told me that. He goes, Gary, I've been doing this so long, it's muscle memory. He goes, I can just see it, and I got it.
That's how Kevin is.
I heard. But it's also, I think that's true because the more I do the bigger part.
Exactly.
Like, I did 3 movies last year. That's the most I've done in a year. By the time I got the R's, I was good.
So it's like me right now, like doing an hour, right? Like, I have a 20-minute muscle from doing spots only locally.
Yeah.
So, when I'm doing the hour, it's like, I look down, it's like, fuck, that's only 40 minutes. I got 20 more. And then, I've done like the last 4 or 5 shows now, 4 or 5 different cities, and it's become easier and easier. Like, an hour and a half to you is a piece of cake.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like this 45 minutes. All right, now I can put it in cruise control because I know these 15 are going to blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I'm thinking.
But don't you get excited as a stand-up, like, the jump without a net part?
Oh, yes.
Because you're like, okay, so you're going up there, and in your brain, you're like, I got 20, 30 strong. Right. I got my home runs.
Right.
I don't know where the next 30 is going to be.
Oh, so you do that?
That would, like, what you're telling me?
Yes.
That's exciting.
Okay, good. I thought I was crazy.
No,
I thought, as I'm building that next 20 or whatever, 30 to go with this hour, 40.
That's the fun part
of this
business.
Because I'm like, how strict should I be with myself in trying to put this act together?
No. I just talked to Russell Peters yesterday, and he was talking about the last tour he did, he waited till the end to film his special. He goes, man, I had a different hour. He goes, because I was on the road for like 7, 8 months. He goes, from the first month to the last, he goes, totally. So what he's doing this next tour, he's filming an hour early, and he's going to film one late. So I was like, that to me, I love it when the special airs.
Right.
And even though not everybody's seen the special yet, I can put that shit to bed.
Right.
And start on the new hour.
Yeah.
And that to me,
yes, is exciting.
Because I get bored.
Right.
Tell them to when I see comics 10 years later doing the same shit, I'm going,
aren't
you bored?
The old school guys, the Leno's and the Seinfelds, them motherfuckers will do their act for 25 years. And I remember Leno was talking about somebody, go, hey man, that's the act. And that's how, but they weren't throwing out specials like that. You know what I mean? So if you're a Pryor or a Carlin and you're doing albums every year, then it's going to be required of you next time I see you not to be doing the stuff that I just heard.
Yeah.
But if you're Leno and you're just doing corporate gigs for 20 years, and you're not really doing specials, then you can get away with that. But even if I was him, I would get bored.
Sometimes I'm like, I know this joke's going to kill. I'm so sick of telling it.
Yeah.
And then I think comics would give off energy because there's jokes that would kill, and I get tired of telling it, and all of a sudden it's not killing like it used to. I go,
absolutely.
They must know I'm mailing this in.
Right.
To me, that's the exciting part of this business.
Do you write your whole joke out?
I never wrote a joke down.
Do you write a premise down?
I might get my phone and write a word so I don't forget it. Like, just put a word. But I don't write jokes. That's why I probably never did the late night talk shows like that, because they want you to submit. I remember one time it was a Tonight Show, and they wanted me to submit my 4 minutes. And I went up the Laugh Factory in Long Beach, and I was about 30 seconds in, and I just went, fuck this. I'm just not going to do it.
Wow.
Because I was like, this ain't fun.
Right.
This is work. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I literally just never sent it in.
And I used to wonder how you guys did that, right? Like, and then when you're doing an hour and a half every night for years, there's no reason to put a pencil down. Like, you're going to remember last night I mentioned the silver octopus, and now I'm going to expound on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And last night I also added in the goldfish with the silver octopus, and now I'm going to add the green, the green whale, so you're writing on stage.
Mm.
And so to watch the U's and the earthquakes and the Corys and even Kevin, of course, to just see you build that shit over, and I watched the joke like night after night get better and better is an art. Mm-hmm. And it comes from that muscle being always used because you guys are on the road all the time.
And that's what David Koechner did on the opposite of the spectrum.
Right.
I was just like, how is he getting these lines?
Yep.
I was like this.
Yeah. That's what Kevin did on the movie. Kevin has seen this. Kevin, this is what's great about my friendship in Hollywood. Like, I have real friends. I called you said yes. But you guys said yes without even reading the script. Matter of fact, we did your TV show.
Yeah.
He was the first person cast in the movie and the last one to sign, by the way. We went on your TV show and we talked about this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys should go watch it. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime too. They can order
go watch the Gary Owen show, the episode with Chris Spencer.
First episode. That was a pilot.
Oh, go watch the pilot. That's how we're friends. So when I called you, you said yes. Faizon said yes without reading the script. Bill Bellamy read the script and was like, I'm in. JB Smoove didn't even read the script, said yes. Kevin didn't read the script. Tiffany didn't read the script. All these people said, if you're directing a movie, I trust you. I was like, you don't want to read it? It's going to be good. And so that felt good. Because I always say, it's always messed up when I'm around people like, we in Hollywood, man. We as black people got to work together, man. We don't do that. I go, I do that all the time.
Yeah, I know, right?
All my friends, real husbands, all those people in the cast, me and Kevin picked up our phone and cast that TV show.
Wow.
The guest stars, Shaq came on.
That's crazy.
He called the Kardashians. He called Chris Brown. I called Mike Epps.
Crazy.
I called Lunel. I called Earthquake. Like, we just pick up the phone and call people.
Oh, that's
so
great.
It's a myth that we don't work together.
Like this. See, the regular cast, you guys went with Robin Thicke.
Yeah. Because Kenya wasn't famous. We thought about you, but it was about these husbands married to these famous women. Had Kenya been SAG, Paula Patton was famous, so Robin Thicke fell right in.
What's your radio show with your wife called too?
Oh, Date Night with Chris and Vanessa.
That was a funny part because you're going through a divorce, man, and you're just looking for any reason to laugh and cut up.
Right.
And a couple people said some stuff to me that called me that I didn't think would call.
Right.
And I remember I called you. I said, guess I'm not gonna be on season 2 of Date Night. Because you guys were at one point you were trying to get me and Kenya on.
Yes.
And even there's a show called Black Love.
Yeah, that's how
on one of the networks.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like
Cody and Tommy.
They've been trying to get me on there, and I was like, that's good.
He's like, you want me and one of my kids?
How about Black Lovers?
That's lover of blacks.
But when I'm going through my divorce, it was funny because Shaq and Anthony Anderson, two people that just said stuff to me on the phone that resonated. And I'm sitting here, I'm in Baltimore, life isn't. But this is how you know life's shitty, but at the same time, like this ain't that bad. So I was hiding basically. Process server, everything else. Your head's spinning that first week.
Right.
So I'm at the Four Seasons in Baltimore.
Stop bragging.
The keyword is Four Seasons under an alias, right? They bring me up through the staff elevator.
Right.
And the club put plexiglass in front of the stage so nobody could come to the stage and rush me and throw anything. It was really an operation. So I'm sitting there and I'm going, wait a minute. I can't really leave Uber Eats in or room service. But I am at the Four Seasons.
Right.
And I do have a balcony.
Right.
And I'm overlooking the wharf. I'm going, this sucks, but hey, sucks.
Yeah.
And I'm basically reading how he ain't shit on the internet. And Shaq calls and said something to the extent of whatever happens, he's giving me advice. So he went through the divorce. He was like, your talent is always going to make you money. Remember that. As bad as it seems and as much money as you might go through in this divorce, because your talent is always going to make you money. It's not. He basically said it's not going to allow you to go broke. So that meant a lot. And then Anthony said the same thing. He goes, hey, man, it's money, man. You can make more. You know what I mean? It's out there. Don't worry about it. It was just I had to hear shit like that because, you're like, God dang. Because you're the horror stories.
Right.
I'm going through it as Dr. Dre's going through it. I'm on a lesser level. I'm like, what?
Great timing, Dre.
Right. I was like, oh, Jesus. So I remember those two guys just calling me and saying that to me. I was like, oh, yeah. Your life isn't that bad.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because it kind of follows up with what I'm saying about us not working with each other.
Support each other.
We support each other. And you know who's great at that, better than us, is this younger generation. These
like
dudes,
the Kev on stages?
The Kev and Tony Bakers and Tahir Moores and Desi Banks. Like, these dudes will go on and do each other's little videos. They've created their own tours. Them little 85 South dudes, like, they really love each other. And it's almost, I compare it to the golf generation, like Tiger and Phil and fucking Sergio, enemies. These young motherfuckers, Justin Thomas is over at fucking this little young dude's house. I don't know if it's Bryson Shambo or whatever. They hang.
Oh, they're exchanging jerseys after NFL games now?
Yes, that's a different.
And I've got the old guys. You got to hate each other. I go, no, you don't.
No, you don't. And I think we all, for the most part, love each other and cheer for each other.
Well, the successful ones.
Right. Oh no, there's still there's gonna be some
some
haters.
Bitter dudes out there. The bitter ones I stay away from, bro.
Yeah, and they're bitter when they come to the club and they sit in the front row and look at you like.
Or they relish when it don't go your way.
Right.
They relish in it. Where I'm always like, if somebody gets booed and it gets on the internet, we all see it.
Right.
I'm more like, why did he get booed?
Right.
I know his jokes. I know something happened there.
Right.
I was like, let's get the whole story.
Right.
It's almost like when they take a snippet of a quote instead of the whole quote. You're like this. A lot went into that boo. You know that, right? Like,
when was
he
the last
went
time
on
you
11.
booed?
I don't think I've been booed.
Ever?
Well, I got booed at the gay club.
Yes.
I told you about.
Yes.
The Rage on Santa Monica.
Rage.
That was a boo. Did I ever get a silent?
Silent is worse than the boo. I've never been booed, but I've been like, I'm like, somebody say something, so I can at least roast somebody in the audience.
When I'm on these tours, like, it doesn't happen a lot, but when I'm on these tours, when either if Epps is on this show, he goes last, and then sometimes I'll go last and you got 5-6 comics, and they start going long, you can go up there and that place is flat,
right?
And that's when you're like, oh God, I'm working now.
Right.
I'm not having fun.
Right.
And you're like, I'm not going to tell that because that's too long.
Right.
You're literally in your brain, you're going, okay, that joke's 5 minutes. That's too, they're not gonna, I don't have their attention. Yeah. I got really.
But it's great to have that ability. Like, you could call it audible while you're on stage.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people can't. Like, some people are stuck in the act.
Yeah.
And I find that also in acting, as I was directing some of the actors, like, I would give them a note and they couldn't adapt. Like, you guys were all great at adapting. Some of these younger guys, I would give them a note and then they would still be, whatever they trained, whatever they memorized or whatever worked out with their teacher, like, they wouldn't.
Their teacher? Acting coach?
Yeah, your acting coach. They wouldn't be able to, cross over and go with the left. Like, they were just, I'm going to dribble with my right. I'm going to pull up at the free throw line. I'm going to shoot the shot. But if there's a defender right here and there's there's more time on the clock and you can actually get to a layup, some of them couldn't get to the layup.
Well, Ely brought it up. Ely goes, I love working comedians and I hate it. He said, because you guys are fearless. You guys will just try something. If it don't work, like, fuck it, and keep it moving. And we'll go back to the original line. He goes, when you're doing it, because I asked him, I said, what's the difference between you do a lot of dramatic stuff and working with comedians? And he just said, he goes, actors, they're not venturing from the script.
Right.
They're, you know what you're getting. He goes, when I get one with you or Kev or something, he's like, I don't know what's about to cut. He goes, especially you, Gary. He be looking at you like, where's this scene going?
Right.
I always make sure that I get the last line in.
Right.
Okay, I'll bring it back.
Right.
But I might be rambling for a few minutes.
Right.
Right.
But
I mean,
that's why the highest paid motherfuckers are comedians. Because we will take that risk and we will take the writing to another level. That's why, on the movie, I'd be like, here's the script. Give me the first one, which never really happened, and then let you guys go. Like, there's so much magic. I'm going to have to do like the old days and say, here's the Criterion director's version, 3-hour movie, so you can see the comedy that I have to cut.
Deion Taylor said that, he said he hired all them comedians for Meet the Blacks and Meet the Blacks 2, because he goes, this is easy. I just want you guys to do you.
Right.
I can back off.
Love Deion.
Yeah, with the first one we did, I remember the one scene where I go to the door and I got the mask on and reveal, I forgot the original lines. I was so into the ad-libs, and then we just rolling, and he goes, take 2, and we did it, and I'm ad-libbing new stuff, and then Deion goes, can I get one? One with the lines.
You're like, can I see him?
And then literally I was like this. Okay, let me see. Sorry. I completely forgot what the scene was all about. But that's the beauty of it, though. Now since I'm getting a divorce and you're happily married, how'd you meet your wife?
At Chocolate Sundays, the comedy club that
Shut up.
started in 2000. Yeah.
You met Vanessa at Chocolate Sundays?
So she was casting, she had just cast Kevin in Soul Plane, right?
She casted Soul Plane?
Yep. She casted Soul
I'm like
Plane.
this. Hold on. Tom Arnold?
Ha ha! You weren't old enough then.
It's like this.
So you always compare to the one white guy in the black movie.
Hey, anytime there's some one white kind of
fuck everybody else.
What was that?
You couldn't have did the DL character or the other one. It was like, who the fuck was Tom?
What was that funeral one? The
Oh,
Kevin,
yeah,
Chris Rock,
Yes,
and Martin.
yeah.
It was like this. I saw that and I went, huh.
There you go.
That was a white casting director.
Yes.
So what?
So she casted that. So her and Kevin were friends. So she called Kevin and said, where can I go see some young black talent? And he's like, well, Chris Spencer and Poogie Wigginton have this thing called Chocolate Sundays. So she comes down there, and she was actually on a date. And I looked at her, I was like, God damn, who is that? And she was probably saying the same thing. And
Sure she was.
so I saw her, and then we met, and she was on a date, and she looked upset, like she was ready to go.
Was it black guy or white guy?
Black guy. She hadn't dated a white guy since like 7th grade.
I knew that about her.
Yeah. No, actually, I learned about another white guy she dated in high school. I was like, really? Literally, with this weekend. And remember Josh Weintraub? And I'm like, who the fuck is Josh Weintraub? You broke his heart. I'm like, you fucking did a little Jewish boy. So she goes there, and then she comes back. And when she came back, she came with that guy. And then she came back again. And I was like, why are you here? She goes, I'm casting a movie. I go, no, you came here for me. She's
Is
like,
that what you said?
she's like, motherfucker, who the fuck you think you are? I said, so remember, we had SkyTel two-way pagers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm staring at her texting, and I see her, Kevin is down here, and she's up in the balcony. And I see them fucking texting each other, right? And I had got her, maybe it's the third time she came. And I had got, we did the beam thing, remember? The beam with the SkyTel two-way pager. Yeah. And so, no, I didn't have her thing yet. I text Kevin. I go, why are you texting my girl? He goes, your girl? That's V Sizzle. She's my friend forever. That's my girl, joking, right? I go, no, I'm hosting the show. She's my girl. He wrote, touche. And then later, we went next door to Greenblatt's, we ate, and then she fell in love, and I was like, all right, I'll marry you.
Really?
It was,
you slept with her that night?
Yeah.
I don't know where I just added that in.
I did not. She wouldn't even, she didn't, so the first night,
You slept with her the first night?
Let me tell you a great-ass fucking
bathroom?
date, since you're out in the streets now. She said, wow, I couldn't believe this. We went for a drive, and she had just moved in from New York. I went and showed her all the shortcuts in L.A.
Really?
This is San Vicente. This is Franklin. Sometimes Laurel Canyon is going to be crowded. We're going to go around this way, down Woodrow Wilson. And I took her home, and I was like, all right. And she looked at me like, motherfucker, I'm not kissing you. I was like, but I'm Chris Spencer. And she goes, I don't know what the fuck
What's a
that
vibe?
is. I was on Vibe. I was on Jamie Foxx show. And so I was like, oh my gosh, she didn't kiss me. Not that I always get a kiss on the first date, but I just thought the date was so great that
Yeah.
it should have been like a movie, like, are you going to invite me in? But I was
Right.
like, I'm not going to be that bold. And then I was in between. So I had just broken up with the girl that I was with. And then I went back to the girl. Me and Vanessa went out, hung out a couple times. Then I went back to the girl. And then we were at the premiere of Soul Plane. And I saw her, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be with her.
You was
Like,
with another girl
yeah.
at the premiere?
But I was like, I'm supposed to be with her. And I was like, it was a weird feeling. Because I remember the feeling I felt was like, I don't know if you've seen The Godfather, Godfather 2, when Al Pacino's out hiding and out in Corleone, Italy, and he sees the girl Apollonia, and he freezes like this.
Yeah.
And the two guys go, he got hit with the thunderbolt. Like, that's how I felt. Like, I got hit with the thunderbolt. I was like, oh, shit. I think I'm supposed to be with her. And then 17 years later, now we're married. We're married for 15. Married for 15, yeah.
Now you got the freak of nature son.
I know, which I'm going to have to get a blood test because he jumps way higher than I ever did.
How tall is he?
6 feet.
He looks shorter in person.
Right.
And your videos, I'm like, my favorite video is one where he comes out. It must have been the first or second time he ever dunked in a game.
Uh-huh.
As a dad,
Right.
I get it. You went, oh, and you looked around. And literally, you look, and nobody acknowledged you were the dad.
Yes.
You looked this way and nobody's there. You went, oh, okay.
Oh, because I was coaching. Here's what's funny. In the car up there, because I think he had one attempt before in a game, and I said, today you're going to get your first dunk. And he had 3 in that game. And not like fast break by himself. Like, he had fast break with people trailing, and he took 1 step and jumped off 2 feet, 2 hands, 3 times. I was like...
But I heard that about everybody that I've ever met, and I've asked them about dunking, Vince Carter, anybody that's the dunker.
Right.
I always ask them, how old were you? When did it happen? And they said, once you do it, it's a wrap.
That's what
They said it's so easy after that. It's that first one. Vince said he was in 8th grade.
That's spooky.
I was like this, what? And I go, what happened? He goes, well, we used to do tennis balls. He goes, and then we went to like baseballs and volleyballs. He goes, and I just came down the court and I went 2 hands. He goes, and dunked it. And I go, what happened? I go, Jim go crazy. He goes, what?
Can you imagine an 8th grader dunking with 2 hands?
I saw an 8th grade.
Well, now these guys aren't really. They're 16 in the 8th grade. So if you saw something recent, all these holdbacks and double holdovers, it's like.
Nah, I saw.
Did he have a mustache?
Was it 8th or 9th? And I don't know if you remember this. His name was Chris Kingsbury. He went to Iowa.
White guy.
White dude.
Yes.
He moved to our rival high school in 8th or 9th. I think it was in 8th or 9th.
Chris Kingsbury. Wow.
The white dude, the 3-point specialist.
Woo.
Dude, he was that size in 8th grade. And I remember I was like this, who's that fucking grown man over there? And they said, oh, he just moved here from like Nebraska, right? And I thought he was going to be the center.
Right.
Fucker's bringing the ball to court,
Doing
between his
what he
legs, behind the back, hitting threes. But the mover came down one time, dank! I went, what the fuck was that?
But you know another famous white guy. What's the kid's name that went to Fresno and UNLV?
Oh, Chris Herron.
Chris Herron.
Well, we bonded over addiction when my brother passed away, and then that's how I met him at.
Oh, you didn't know him playing basketball?
No, I met him at an addiction rally in D.C. and he was speaking, and we talked, and then he came on my reality show. He talked to my high school. That guy.
He's seen some shit.
He sees some shit, but he also was like we was talking muscle memory. The first couple times I would go to schools or organizations and talk about my brother, I couldn't get through it. Like, I would lose it. And then I said, how you be doing that, man? I said, you be up there telling deep, dark stuff. And I said, I can't get through it. He goes, Big Gary, I do it like 300 times a year. Like, this, like, you do stand-up, I go on the road and do this. He goes, so I know what I'm doing. And I watched him so much and studied him. He's got like these little twitches, and I could tell that's his way of holding it back. He'll stop, and he'll start to move his hand a certain way. And I was like, oh, he's holding back the tear. That's his little mechanism, defense mechanism. It's floodgates with me, bro. Wow. For the first couple years, I couldn't get through it. Right. I hosted that addiction show right after we did the movie in Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah, I got through it, but it was touch and go there for a second. I was like,
do you bring humor to it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. in my own way.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I hosted that thing in Vegas, and I said, what a better place for a bunch of ex-addicts to come is Vegas. What could go wrong?
They laugh.
I go, the casino, they make their money off the bar. I go, so they better keep that coffee shop open late tonight. I go, Starbucks about to be jumping.
Hysterical. That's great.
But, yeah, that's how I got to know Chris Harris afterwards. It's almost like funny when you meet people when they're retired. Like Rasheed Wallace, I met the year he retired.
Right.
And God, we just clicked.
I have a joke about this. I'm so tired of meeting my favorite stars after it's over. Like me and Sugar Ray Leonard are great friends. I'm like, fuck that. I want to know you, Hagler, Hearn,
like
Sugar
Todd
Ray.
Bridges.
I'm going to fucking Magic's house for brunch. Like I could have used. I would have loved that in '86 to get tickets.
Right. That's what I told Rasheed. He goes, "Hey, take my number down." I go, "For what?"
You can't do shit for me.
He said, "You're an asshole, Gary." I go, "For what? You retired."
That's funny. I'm still in that. Thank you.
What's the one thing Rasheed Wallace has done that no other basketball player's ever done in the history of basketball? He's done one thing that nobody's ever done.
You want me to answer?
Yeah.
My guess. Had like 4 or 5 T's in one game.
Close.
But
he's the only guy to get ejected from the McDonald's All-American game.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And if you ask him about it, he's still upset about it. Motherfucker was elbowing me.
He got rejected.
Ejected in the middle of the game for arguing and upset. And it was some forward from ended up going to Kansas that didn't go to the NBA. And I was with Eddie House.
Eddie House.
Who else? There was like 4 or 5 NBA guys. It was Brian Grant's weekend in Portland. And this is like 11 years ago. And they all said, "Hey, Gary, come here. Rasheed, what's the one thing you've done that nobody else has done?" And then he goes, "The motherfucker was elbowing me." I go, "What's going on?" And they go, "The motherfucker got ejected from McDonald's All-American game." That's supposed to be fun.
Almost impossible.
Right.
That's like getting ejected from the All-Star game.
Yeah, exactly. And was serious and still upset about it. If you ask Rasheed, he motherfucker was elbowing me, man.
I'm going to try to find it.
Brunch at Magic's house?
Yeah. I'm friends with all these people.
I got a Magic Johnson joke in my special. I hope he still likes me when it's over.
Oh, God. What'd you say?
It's not terrible.
Right.
I just said, it's in my, by the time, I'm going to hold this podcast till my special airs.
Okay.
I said, when I caught COVID, I had to make all my phone calls. I go, and yeah, what do you say to people? I'm just like, sorry, I was around you, I can't imagine Magic Johnson must have felt like making his phone calls. I was nervous making mine. And the whole crowd goes, "Oh," I go, "Well, he's fine. I gave it 30 years. I was like, what is the time frame on this joke? I waited 30 fucking years, guys.
That's fucking funny.
He's still alive.
It looks better than all of us.
Right. Doing better than all of us. How about that?
Way better.
I heard Shaq got offered Starbucks for Magic. I heard Starbucks came to Shaq. I heard it from Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Shaq said Starbucks came to him and was like, "Hey, we want to open up some," and I can't say the M word, but Shaq was like, "M-words ain't drinking coffee like that."
Right.
And he looked back going, "Yeah, I messed that one up."
Yeah.
But I looked at him like this, "You're fine."
Yeah.
You're Target.
No, Target, I think Google and Ring and all kinds of shit. I was talking to Stan Lathan. We were all having this conversation. Like, any opportunities you missed on? He goes, the guy came to me in 1978 or 81 or something and says, "Hey, man, here's a patent for this new thing I want to do. It's called the automated teller machine. And what you do is there's going to be, instead of having to go in the bank, you're going to have a code and get your money out from the outside." He goes, "Man, people want to go inside to get their money. All right, so get this shit out my face." He could have had first dollar in the fucking ATM machine.
Man. Stan Lathan?
Stan Lathan.
Ooh.
Carl Craig, line producer on Real Husbands. His neighbor had a script. Gave it to him. He read it. He goes, this is an amazing script. I can't do nothing with it. You need to go find like Steven Spielberg or somebody. The script, Schindler's List.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good
so
Lord.
There's been some mishappenings in our industry.
And you got any? Did you look back on like, I wish I would have did that instead of this?
Training day, right? I was busy, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna go with Denzel if you don't call us back." And then they went with Denzel.
Oh wow.
Fucked up, right?
Man.
No, let me see. Any missed opportunities for me?
They called me for Ethan Hawke's part. Weird.
Wow. Can you imagine it would have been me and you?
Weird.
It would have been like need more training day. I would say a lot of the road stuff. Like I probably would have been a bigger comedian had I, I started off like opening for Damon Wayans and Jeff Foxworthy and Rock, and then I was happy because I was making whatever I was going to make a week in one night, and I was in the Ritz and the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then I would hear these horror stories about having to stay in comedy condos, and I was like, I'm not doing that shit.
Oh my gosh, some of them comedy condos.
And I've never stayed in one, and so I never ever did. I got talked out of. I think I went to NACA. No, I never went to NACA. I wanted to go to NACA.
Yeah.
And then whenever it was time to go, I booked something. And so it was always something. I was like, fuck it, maybe I'm not supposed to be on the road. I'm gonna be a thespian. And so if there's one thing I wish I would have done, it was been on the road earlier. And that's kind of like how I feel about quite a few things. I always wonder what would have happened if I would have walked on UCLA's basketball team. I wouldn't have played, but I would at least had that experience.
Mm-hmm.
I also wonder, we lived in Inglewood until February of '83. And of March of '83, crack came to Inglewood. And all my friends became big time drug dealers. So I always wonder, and I was with them in the beginning when we were just selling weed and and nickel bags and dime bags. I always wonder, who would I have been as a drug dealer? I was always kind of scary, so I don't think I would have got in too deep. But
that's your missed opportunity.
I mean, I just think about how some things in my life happened for a reason.
If you didn't go to Chocolate Sundays, Vanessa didn't come.
Right. If I would have been hosting, Whacked Out Wednesdays or whatever that shit D-Ray does. What's it called?
Mondays?
Ghetto Mondays.
What's it called?
Don't Get Shot Mondays.
I haven't been in there in so long.
I go there once a year just to show the people that I'm not scared of them, but I'm usually like, I hate this place. I hate it. D-Ray is killing, and the room gets tired, and they're really there to get chicks. And like Ian Edwards said the funniest thing. He said the comedian up there is like the piano guy at Nordstrom's. Right? He's just, there's a comedian. Hey, comedian, can you pipe that down? I'm trying to do a business deal. And so D-Ray, of course, has done fantastic from it. From playing. I think that has helped him with not only his stand-up, but him getting dramatic roles in movies. You know what I mean? Like, he's on Snowfall now. It's Peaches. And I think it's because they would come to the Improv on a Monday night and see him tell these dark stories about his life, and they were like, "This dude's got dramatic chops." So, I try to go there once a year just to say, "Hey, I can do this room," but I don't love it. It's not for me.
Yeah,
I like a more multicultural room. Like I did Memphis, and I got not my ass handed to me, but a couple of jokes didn't go over because I'm so West Coast, East Coast, a certain income bracket, a certain type of audience that's why you have to go on the road so you can know what jokes work everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm out there going, "Yo, where my vegans at?" And they're like, "What, motherfucker? What is that?"
Right. There's fryers here.
They're like, "We fry salad." Right? I'm like, "Yo, this private school shit is crazy. How many people got kids in private school? Nobody."
Clubs like that, like Chuckles and Memphis or stuff, I always be like, "Hey, everybody, there's one fryer, so everything's gonna taste the same." I see your French fry might taste like a chicken finger. Your chicken finger might taste like a cheese stick. I go, they ain't switching the shit up. You're like this. They got apple fritters here? No, the cooks make them for themselves. It's like an apple fritter fry.
That's hilarious.
So good.
That's funny as shit. Yeah. So that's why I'm glad to be out there because I did Miami last week. That fucking Improv is incredible. The one in Doral.
Like nice, boy. I did one man shows there.
Oh,
I just went up and did like 2 hours because I wanted to work on some stuff. And my opener had caught COVID the week before. So I was like, they were scrambling. I was like, nah, you know what? I'm going to see how I do. And I'm glad I did it, but I don't do it again because I had no downtime. I would say goodnight, and I still do my meet and greet and merch. And then I got 15 minutes. And it's time to go back on stage. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Right.
I'm wore out.
Merch, that's another thing. Like, I guess, I have a lot of course, most comedians sell merch. What do you sell?
T-shirts.
Just straight T-shirts. You don't
Take
hoodies?
pictures. Pictures are where it's at. Once you get to a certain level, people want a picture. They just want a picture with you.
Polaroid?
No, use your cell phone. It's a meet and greet. I'm coming out.
And you charge for that?
Mm-hmm.
You greedy motherfucker.
It's not that. I don't have to do that. I do it. Obviously, it's a little money in my pocket. Yeah, but
How much
it's
you
also
charge a picture?
$20.
Oh, that's not bad.
So it's like I don't have to come out, but I always try. I said let's try to do it on stage because I want them to be like I'm on stage
And
with
really,
the comedian where
roughly,
he just
how many
performed.
pictures do you sell a show?
20, probably about 20.
God damn, that's a nice little chunk of change to go with
And the
that
t-shirts.
bag.
And the t-shirts.
And then how many t-shirts you sell?
That's inconsistent.
Houston,
It's gonna be nice.
50 shirts.
A night? No.
A weekend.
No. Oh, a weekend, a couple hundred. Maybe.
What?
Well, the weekend, I always bring 200 for the weekend. Sometimes I'll run out, and sometimes I'll have 50 left over.
How much is a t-shirt?
20. Everything's $20.
A lucrative business we're in, ladies and gentlemen.
But think
And
about
I
it.
want all
I don't go cheap on the t-shirts.
Mhm.
I make sure.
quality.
I love it when people come back and they're wearing my shirts.
Right.
I'm like, but sometimes like, oh, I can't do that joke. So I'll
Right.
try to make it a joke.
Right.
I was like, oh, clearly, could you forget
Right.
that? When did I write that joke? And it'll be a
Right.
year later, like, oh, that's when the joke was in the beginning.
Right.
Stages.
It's different now.
Oh, so yeah, merch and meet and greets, man. But we don't have to do that.
Meet and greet is different than your pictures.
That is the pictures.
Okay, good.
The meet and greet is like
On
get in
stage,
line.
boom.
Yeah. And I hate it when people be like, I just spent this money to see you. I'd be looking at it like this. I don't have to be out here. I'm not forcing you to take a picture.
Do you have somebody help you?
Yeah.
Somebody's helping them because I know they want to have a fucking conversation with you. And is there somebody going?
Oh yeah, but
Let's move it
they
along.
keep I'm good. I'm good to make it personable.
Right.
And boom, 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 and laugh at the bad joke.
Right.
Hey, Bengals had their hands with last week by the Steelers. All right. Yeah, you got did.
Right.
All right, go Big Ben.
Right.
So I there's a way to do it.
Right.
You got some people, man, they're trying to have a full,
Right.
like, or you can see them coming. They're loud in line. They're coming up. You're like, Gary.
He's still like 8 back.
But they don't realize you're on autopilot. You just want to get through the line, be
Right.
polite, give people the experience.
Rest to get ready for your next.
I don't hear anything you said. So this is what you just said to me. Hey, some of them coming in. He said, what? And I was like this.
Right.
That's what I got out of that conversation.
Right. David Wayne used to always say, I love people, but I hate them because they don't realize they're happy to see you.
Yeah.
I don't know you. I don't know you. I'm not happy to see you. He
But
said,
as a stand-up and being
Right.
on TV, I saw in an interview, I think it was Mel Gibson
Mhm.
and George Clooney. They
Mhm.
must have been out to eat or something. This had to be 20 years ago. I saw this interview. And everybody was like grabbing George Clooney and holding him, and they were out to eat. And Mel Gibson, they'd be like, yo, George, it's Mel Gibson. It's Mel Gibson. They wouldn't go to Mel Gibson.
Right.
And George said they couldn't figure out what was going on. And Mel said, you're on TV. This is when he was on ER.
Right.
Because I'm in movies. He goes, you're in their house. They feel like they know you. He goes, they have to go see me. Now I think it's a little different because movies, now they're in the house.
Right.
But back then he was like, no, they have to leave to come see me. That's why
Right.
they're not, that's the difference between a movie star and a TV star. You're in their house. You're in their bedrooms. They're like this. He knows us. He's been at the crib.
George, what up, mate? You remember Jennifer?
Headlock.
They were out. They were out to eat together.
I get that's the.
Can you imagine seeing these two motherfuckers out? You'd be like this.
I know, right? George still. I watched that thing on Netflix where he, his dad was the news anchor when I was growing up. Channel 9 News. Nick Clooney, right?
You remember seeing them?
Oh yeah, Jerry Springer was the mayor when I was growing up in Cincinnati.
Oh, that's right.
Nick Clooney was the 6 o'clock news guy.
No way.
So George Clooney, he's still, I guess, he's really into making the world a better place.
Yeah, sure.
So one of the refugees, his
Like how you
parents
said it,
took
like
him.
that's never gonna happen.
Yeah. But he took one of these refugees, and the refugee moved to Cincinnati, Kentucky area, and was living. His dad, Nick Clooney, and his mom got him a place on the river. So I'm watching this thing on Netflix. I go, I know exactly where he's at. I know exactly where he's at. I know that restaurant where they're eating at. Everything. It's on the Kentucky side. And they said, yeah, the first 2 weeks when he got back, George just stayed at the apartment with him in Kentucky. I go, can you imagine if George just takes a walk one day in this small town right outside Cincinnati, and the fact that he was living there for 2 weeks, like you could just ran into him at a coffee shop.
Hello,
It's like,
George.
that's crazy, right? I think that's why Chappelle lives in Yellow Springs, though.
So did you go out there
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to see him navigate and that lady was his third grade teacher, and the librarian, and the coffee shop lady went to high school with him, and it's like he gets to be.
What I heard, and I know where to validate this, I heard it from somebody in the loop, was when Dave went on his little hiatus after the Chappelle show, and he was getting all the bad press, went crazy and stuff. They go, he was in Yellow Springs, and what I heard was that town like protected him. I mean, people came looking like, I don't know, can't help you. Not doing interviews, not throwing him under the bus. He might have been at the pizza shop and just left. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I heard that they just was like, nah, he's in his little cocoon. He can be Dave. He goes out and talks to people at the, like he was one of the old guys in front of the coffee shop just talking shop.
And that's how it was when I went out there. I was like, oh, these people really, they know David.
Oh, yeah.
They know David Chappelle.
But did you do Chappelle summer camp?
Yeah. I did the last show.
Oh, right before COVID?
Yes.
Shut it down?
The dude who caught it was at breakfast with us.
Oh,
me, Dave, Donnell, everybody, blah, blah, blah. This dude was like, all right, man, I'm going to go get my COVID test. We're like, all right. Cut to everybody's phone ringing. We might be shutting down. We're like, what's his name? Caught it. We're like, oh, shit, the motherfucker was just right here.
Did you notice, though? Where'd you fly into? Dayton or Cincy?
Private.
You for the private?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get the full Chappelle camp.
Only reason because I jumped on a plane with Tiffany.
That's great.
No, was Tiffany with me? No, it was me, Jalil, somebody who was deserving of the private.
Yeah.
I got on that plane.
Well, I just got asked because I live in Cincy, so I drove in, and I was like, I don't know if you noticed if you drove, but it's all Trump, 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 and as soon as you get Yellow Springs, Biden.
It's almost like The Wiz, like
The
everything
Black
is in black
Lives
and white,
Matter
and then yes.
Right?
Everything just became in color. Yeah.
Because I brought Brad and somebody else with me when I did it, and they were like, "Dude, what the fuck's going on here?" And I told them, I said, "Just wait. I've been to Yellow Springs. Like it's different. Because
so different.
They don't allow the outside influences to come in.
It's like going to Berkeley or something.
Yeah.
Very hippie town. His dad was a professor at Antioch University, and so that's why he has his roots there.
Because people always get on me when I go, "Dude, Ohio got some talent." And they're like, and I'll bring up Chappelle. I go, "Chappelle's from D.C." I said, "Slow down." They started doing stand-up in D.C. I said, "That motherfucker grew up in Ohio pretty much."
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, no, especially
Cat Williams, Cincinnati.
Musically, Ohio players.
Collins, Isaac Brothers.
Yeah.
Come on now.
OJ's.
Blessed Union of Souls. Because I believe
is that really
love is the answer. Those guys from Cincinnati.
Wow.
Steve Zahn, George Clooney. We got some talent came out there. Sarah Jessica Parker.
Mm-hmm. Kim Whitley.
She's from Cleveland.
I'm just saying Ohio.
Oh, I was doing Cincinnati.
Oh, sorry. Oh, those are natty folks. Oh, I didn't even know Cincinnati had a nickname too.
Dude,
this dude called me one time. He's like, "Yo, we want you to come do a show in the Natty." I was like,
"Here's a crazy story. Dave, Cat, me. This is probably 2004 or 3. I'm texting both of them saying, 'Hey, you guys think we should do like this run through Ohio called the New Ohio Players?'"
Oh, that's dope.
Dave hadn't blown yet and Cat hadn't blown yet, but everyone I thought Cat had basically next Friday, and that was it.
Yeah.
Right? Dave was doing his thing, and I was good for a couple hundred tickets.
Right.
So I was like, "Dude, we could do a little run through Ohio called New Ohio Players." I ain't kidding you. The week after that text, they both blew up. I was like this. Well, yeah, that's gone. But I can't remember.
Were they interested?
Cat or Dave was like, "Let me check." The other one didn't get back to me, but one of them was like, seemed like they was interested. But it was crazy. I was with Dave and I was with Cat at 2 different times of literally transitional periods of their career.
Mm-hmm.
Right when Dave said 2005, 4, when the Comedy Central thing was going away and everybody, he came to Cincinnati and did 10 shows and sold them all out, right? And that's when I said, I'll never blame the club for ticket sales. When they said you didn't promote it right. I was there Tuesday night, my Tuesday night spot, and I go, "Hey, announcement next week, Wednesday through Sunday, whatever, November 10th through 16th, Dave Chappelle's coming, 10 shows." And the next day it went on sale. That Wednesday, that morning, and it was gone by the end of the day, all 10 shows. And I was like, "Oh my fucking God."
Yeah.
And then Cat, we had a show at Kent State in like the fall of 2005. That less than 6 months later, I got a contract for the Irwin Center in Austin, Texas, and it was me and Cat. And I go, "Why would they have me and Cat the basketball arena? We should be at a theater." And I showed up and I went, what the fuck? And I remember Cat got there. I was on stage. He had his hand in his pocket. He had a little fur on. He's sitting there. He's just watching my whole set. And I get off and I go, when the fuck this happened?
And then laugh.
He just was looking at me. He's just laughing. I was like, when the fuck this happened?
I've seen these guys blow up. I remember I did one New Year's Eve. It was me, George Wallace, Mark Curry, Chris Tucker. And the next year he was out of here. Chris Tucker was like a monster. I saw Kevin below. I saw Martin go from selling out clubs to Radio City Music Hall, like 7, 8 shows. I saw Kevin. I remember Kevin would call me. Yo, man, they added a show to my club. Like, okay, that's great. Yo, man, I think next year I'm gonna do theaters. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then
we talked about this
at
a certain time. I knew Kev was taking off when I did Hartford again.
Uh-huh.
And I saw him on the Come In Next Week.
Right.
I'm out with Marcellus Wiley and the whole ESPN. All the black people worked at ESPN.
Right.
Like Stuart Scott, them. And we go to this little nightclub place, and Marcel's like, well, man, Gary May's here next week. And the girls are like, oh, yeah. That's when I was the oh, yeah guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah. I said, guys, come see me, man. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Girl goes, we already got tickets to Kevin. We'll see if we can, like, basically fit you in if we got the money. I go, wait a minute.
Damn.
Fucker's here next week. What about this week, baby? I was like, oh. So I literally went from Kev's headlining now. Like, that's how I looked at it. Like, that's cool. Kev's headlining. And then I said, wait a minute. These motherfuckers already got tickets?
Yeah.
And I'm here now?
Yep.
That's what I was like.
Yeah, you know we don't pre-buy tickets.
Right. Somebody explain to me, and tell me if this is true about the difference between black and white people selling tickets.
Mm-hmm.
The reason black people buy the tickets last and the walk-up's so big, they said, like, in black people's minds, they know they're coming.
Right.
But a month out, they bought the shoes. 2 weeks out, they buy the outfit.
That's fucking
The week,
funny.
the date, you know, they got the money allotted for the nails and the hair. Women.
Right.
They go, the last thing they buy is the tickets.
I never heard that.
And they go, white people, the first thing we buy is the tickets, and we don't do none of their shit. We just get in the closet and be like, jeans, shirt, shoes, we're out.
That's fucking bro. You should do that on stage. I always equated it to there might be something better that night.
Oh.
Gary's here, but shit, if fucking, if the Ohio players is having a reunion up the street,
Yeah.
I gotta save my money for that. So it's like I gotta weigh what the fuck is gonna happen this evening. You
I
know
can
what
see
mean?
that.
Yeah.
I can see both sides of that fence.
Yeah, that's funny. We buy the outfit first. Shit.
Yeah, buy the shoes, the outfit,
Right.
especially the theater shows.
And we always think some shit might happen. If I get these tickets too early and then somebody die, or I gotta go out of town,
or
or
knee surgery.
knee surgery, or
I've already had people hit me up. Oh, you got tickets from Sacramento. I'm like, I had to cancel Sacramento to San Jose.
How dare you get tickets early?
Yeah. My health, man, my knee. Fuck your knee, man. I gotta try to get this refund. Shit. That would be a hassle. That'd be disappointing.
Yeah. Especially if you knew that I fucking finally got a weekend off. I'm in town. Gary's coming, and then to hear Gary's not coming. Especially when he bought shoe, clothes, ticket, and had his side money for the T-shirt and the pictures. It's like, fuck.
You got the best celebrity stories because you know everybody.
Fucking.
On the set.
I got time.
On the set, I'll be like, you just throw out a name and Chris got a story. You'd be like, JB Fox. Man, let me tell you about JB.
Right. No, I got a couple favorite celebrity stories. One of my favorites is, I told you the Keith Washington, Michael Jackson story, right?
You might have.
It's my favorite story. So he's either Jermaine or Jackie Jackson. I think it's Jermaine is friends with Keith Washington. Randy Jackson of the Jacksons, not of,
Did you just Bill Bellamy?
American
Just Bill Bellamy. Bill Bellamy.
Randy Jackson. He says to Keith Washington says, I never met Mike. He goes, what? You never met Mike? Come on, let's get in the car. So they drive 90 miles
You told me the story.
to Santa Barbara. They ring the doorbell. Bing, bong. Hello? What's up? What's up, Mike? Hey, Randy. Listen, I got Keith Washington here. Oh, I love Keith Washington. Listen, he's never met you. So, we came up to visit you. He goes, what day is family day, Randy? He's like, Saturday. And what's today, Randy? It's Wednesday. See you Saturday, Randy. And he doesn't let him in. And this motherfucker has to drive all the way back to LA.
If Keith Washington could hear Michael Jackson's voice, it was worth it.
Oh my
To me,
God.
I'm like this. That was worth it, bro.
Let's go. Let's go get
You know
something.
what I mean?
Let's get something to eat around here and get back on the road.
What day is it, Randy?
See you Saturday, Randy. Yo, that's one of my favorite ones.
I never got. Do you ever meet Mike?
Yes.
No
So
fucking way.
Puffy's having a party at what's his name? Michael Jackson's lawyer's house. Fucking, it's a house you see in many movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
The backyard looks like Disneyland. So we're walking around, we're seeing everybody, I don't know, names, Madonna, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And so we see Arsenio, me and Alex Thomas. He goes, what's up, man? He goes, have you guys ever met Mike? We're like, Jordan, Tyson? It's like, no, motherfucker, Michael Jackson. Have you ever met Michael Jackson? Ever met Michael Jackson? We were like, no. He goes, he's right over here. He goes, what's crazy is he probably knows you guys. I said, he don't know us. He goes, no.
What year is this?
He was alive, I remember.
I mean, obviously.
I'm joking. 2001.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. So we go over there. He goes, Mike, I want you to meet two very funny comedians. It's Chris Spencer and Alex Thomas. He goes, I know them. Hey, what's up, y'all? He shakes my hand. This motherfucker's hands were so big.
Michael Jackson's hands?
Like Dr. J. Like I said, he could palm an album cover. Like if he was a DJ, he'd be like, you guys want to hear Thriller? No. Let me take Off the Wall. He shook my hand, and here's the other thing that was weird. First of all, he knew you guys are very funny. Oh my God, you did this, and then I was like, he goes, Arsenio told us before, he does nothing but watch TV all day. He knows every song, he knows every TV show. I said, that motherfucker don't watch Comic View. He watches Comic View. He wants to hear all the bad Michael Jackson jokes. So he shakes my hand and he goes, there's no, pleased to meet you. He's like, pleased to meet you. Motherfucker, there was no hee-haw. He made me sound like Michael Jackson. I was like, pleased to meet you too, sir.
His voice is deep?
Deep as fuck.
Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you. And so I thought I was crazy. And I looked at Alex and he says, both me and Alex were like, and so Neo has a story like that. Neo's in the studio singing, and they go, Mike is here. Neo's in there. What's up, Mike? What up, Neo? I thought you said Michael Jackson was here. It is Mike, dude. What up, boy? Neo had to come out and go, who the fuck is playing around? And it was fucking Mike. What up? You good? He was like, oh, shit, you don't sound like that.
That's crazy.
Another story similar to that. Michael Jai White is doing what was the movie with him and Tyler and
Why'd I Get Married?
Why'd I Get Married? And cut. So they're talking. Janet's talking like this. Yo, I told this motherfucker, if you don't have my money by Thursday, heads is gonna get motherfucking spun and blah 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 blah. Okay, we're ready for you, Janet. Okay, here I come.
They are from Gary, Indiana. There's some hood in them still.
Yes. But
all of them like that. That's funny.
Yeah. So
that motherfucker got my money. Oh, yeah.
Mike was like, why do you talk like that? She's like, talk like what? Control. And then she gallivanted off. Shit.
You say gallivanted off.
Sauntered.
She walked like this to her trailer.
Yeah.
Give me a Jamie Foxx story before we go.
Jamie Foxx is the greatest storyteller out of all of us.
I agree. He makes you feel like you're the greatest on the planet.
And that's when I go. Jamie Foxx, when he introduces you, he gives you such an intro, and he's very great at bridging two different communities. Mm-hmm. Like, so if we're somewhere and there's all these fucking big time fucking billionaires, he'd be like, yo, this is Gary Owen. I'm not sure if you know this, but Gary Owen invented Velcro. And a lot of people were like, laces are going to be the shit. And Gary was like, no, Velcro. And he spent like, 13 years trying to invent Velcro? Yeah, 13 years. And you gotta do just like, you can't call Jamie a liar.
Chris.
Do it again, Gary. Yeah, so, and then I remember when he first gave me my first pair of Velcro shoes. This is when I actually did Ray in them. And I got the fucking Oscar. You'd be like, this motherfucker's incredible. And that's another motherfucker that's never told me no.
Jamie?
One time for Vibe, but it's because Keenan was on at the same time, so he didn't even tell me no. First of all, Jamie never says no. He says yes, and then you might not find him.
Yeah. I know that experience. Yes. I've had that a couple times.
He's the great, and most of the times, he's done everything I've ever asked for, from being on a show to fucking, he put me on a Jamie Foxx show. This is how much he says yes. My kids are playing in a basketball tourney not too far from his house. He says, I'm going to come through. I was like, yeah, whatever. This motherfucker came through, had fucking cameras, taking pictures of my kids. Then he's like, y'all eat yet? No, come on. The whole fucking basketball team went to Jamie Foxx's house. This motherfucker bought pizzas and shit for everybody. We lost by 40 the second game, but still.
God, that's better than the.
Yeah, he's the greatest. He's one of the greatest people I've ever met in my life. He's always come through. When I did Vibe, he came to the fucking party. No, he's coming to my birthday parties and fucking DJ'd and shit.
Yeah, like, he does know how to throw a party.
Oh, nobody's better.
Nobody's better.
He's like Hugh Hefner met Puffy.
How about I still say, and I can't talk about this on camera, I will one day when I'm single, like completely out of this divorce, the summer of '98, greatest summer of my life.
Bananas.
I got that because I just got the hosting on BT. I just got out of the Navy. Like, I just got to LA and things were happening. And I was early 20s. And I was just like, I lived the Hollywood life for like a summer.
Is that when you were living with Face?
Yeah.
That's the movie.
I lived with the drug dealer.
That's the fucking movie.
Yeah. I lived with one of the biggest. I didn't realize who I was living with. I'm living with this fucking drug dealing, amazing,
6'6", handsome. He got women. He can dress.
The stories
the nicest guy in the world.
Unless you got on his bad side.
But you've seen that. I've never saw that. All I knew was this motherfucker was cordial. He never asked for tickets to go to the shows.
I bought everything.
After a while, he bought tickets. He sat at big tables, and I thought he was a model. And then I was like, no, he does street fighting. And I was like,
no, that's not what he did.
No, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
And then I just heard he fights in the streets.
Did more than that. That's still my dude, man. But just living with Face, I'm living in a home in Bel Air that he's never there. I'm by myself at this house, so girls come over. That was easy. And then Jamie sees
Whose house was it?
His. He was renting it. I'll tell you some other stuff about that house off air, but we can tell it later. But Jamie sees me on stage, asked me to come audition for this movie. My first like audition.
Bake?
No, Held Up.
Held Up.
And freaking, I had help with my lines because I didn't know how any of this shit worked.
Right.
Says you're gonna walk in. There's gonna be 3 people looking at you. There'll be a camera. This is the first audition I ever had. Right. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was really ready. Jamie's like, but I got them ready for you, man. They waiting for you. I acted like I was gonna walk in. And it was just me in the audition room. I got a little intimidated when I saw other people that looked like me. I was like, oh, they're. And then you look at the list, and they were reading for 2 parts. And I just remember, oh my God. And I remember there's some guy I saw from Major League had come out. Bokeem Woodbine had come out, and I was like, I don't know what he auditioned for. I was like, oh, this is the real deal right now.
Yeah, sure.
And then got the part, and then Jamie started having me hang out the house, and I was leaving it at that. I had a great time that summer.
Movie? Summer of '98.
Man, my life is, and then it's the summer I met Kenya. And then the next year, I'm at HaHa. I hadn't seen Jamie like a year, but I had gotten serious, and she wouldn't allow me to go hang out at Jamie's house, right? And I was like, I'll never forget. Jamie saw me. He goes, "What's up, man? What's up?" I said, "Man, I see you forever. We're catching up and stuff." He goes, "Hey, we coming to the house, man. You want to come by?" I said, "Yeah." I called Kenya. She goes, "You shouldn't be in the lawn." You go to his house, and I go, "What, is this Jamie's house?" And I'm like this, God damn it. And I saw everybody drive away like, they about to have the time of their fucking lives tonight. And I'm like this.
Listen.
I went home and watched Oz.
Here's what's funny about the Jamie Foxx stories for me. And I would go there, and I'd be hanging, and we'd hoop, and then we'd eat, and we'd be telling stories. And then I'd be like, man, when is this shit gonna happen? Just hang on. I gotta go. I leave at 3. I'll be on the freeway. Where you at? It's 3:03. Yo, it's bitches everywhere. Oh, there's no more room in the tub.
That hot tub was legendary. Which house was that?
The one off Ventura.
Tampa?
Yes.
You got the Tampa exit?
Yeah, Van Alden or some shit like that.
If that house, whoever bought that house, better sanitize it.
Yes.
A lot of fluids got exchanged in that house.
Paramecium, bacteria. All
but speaking of Wesley, that was the summer '98. Jamie had a party at his house. That's the first time I met Wesley.
Wow.
At that, and that was Blade. And I remember he had sunglasses on. He was acting like he did on set. I thought he was a dick, but that's just Wesley. He sat in the corner. And every now and then somebody would speak to him, he'd speak.
Yes.
But I was like, oh, he's really that dude. He's that dude. He was so iconic that summer that nobody would approach him.
Yeah.
Like he's
intimidating.
He's intimidating. But then when you get him,
he's so cool. But I remember the first couple of days, I would direct around him. Like I'd be like, all right, and you'd be sitting next to Wesley. I'd be like, Gary, why don't you come over here so Wesley can see you? All right, action. I mean, instead of telling Wesley to take 2 steps up, I'd be like, Gary, take 2 steps back so Wesley can see you. Cameraman, we can't see you. And then after a while, it was able to, but he was intimidating at first.
I could see it. I was a little intimidated. And then when I realized here's when I knew, okay, guards down was when all of us comedians be up there cutting up, me, Faizon, JB, he'd fall back and I'd see him with his camera out, taking pictures of us.
Yes.
And then he started sending me the pics. He said, hey, give me your number. So I get his number.
Right.
And then it comes back, Daywalker. I go, who's Daywalker? And I was like, oh, it's Wesley. It's like this. The fuck is Daywalker?
Yes.
He goes, got you locked, Daywalker. I was like, I don't know a Daywalker.
Yes.
That must be Wesley Snipes. And then he started sending me the pictures he said on set. Right. And then he'd be like, we sending his audio messages making fun of the picture. What do we call this? Da-da-da. I go, what's going on here? Well, Bill's telling the story, and I would say bananas or everything else.
Man, he's so fucking cool. But you have to get past that exterior. And he's so Meisner or whatever his method is. Like, he stayed in character the whole fucking time. So even when we were telling stories and we're dying, slapping each other, falling, this motherfucker is still in character. But there's a tear rolling down his face. From laughing. He's laughing so hard, but he's still in character. He's like, he's fucking dying.
Yeah, he's an actor's actor.
Listen, we went to lunch, dinner before. He had me screaming. I was like, yo, you should do stand-up. No. I respect the craft. But on set, he was namaste or whatever the fuck he was doing. But off set, this motherfucker told me stories. He's got stories.
Oh, I can't imagine.
Stallone stories, fucking Goldie Hawn stories, Michael Jackson stories. He told me a story when they did Mo Better Blues. These motherfuckers. I said, dude, you were so fucking smooth. Like, how long you been playing the trumpet? He goes, I don't know how to play the goddamn trumpet. I go, what? He goes, none of us could play. He says, but we were so fucking cocky. He said, yo, there was a Nels and one of those places was having a jam session. Let's go play. Him, Denzel, Bill Nunn or whatever, they all went over there to play. Couldn't fucking play. They couldn't play. That's how great of an actors they are, is that they had us thinking that they could really play.
Do you have a Denzel story?
Yes.
Are you allowed to share it?
Sure. So they all sound like I'm bragging, but
nah, that's why
I'm friends with these people.
No, I told the crew, this is a podcast, but I do have a crew. I told him, I said, I'm looking forward to this interview the most. I said, because Chris got stories. And he's not lying. They're legitimate stories.
So before Eddie used to have the big fight parties, he used to have small fight parties. So one night we're over there and Denzel is there. And Denzel can drink, right? And so there's this guy named Spanky who I grew up with in Inglewood who was a knockout artist.
Hold on. If this story's going right, Keenan told me the same story. Was Keenan at this party? Keenan Ivory Wayans? He had to. Keenan told me this. If this is going where I think it's going.
Yeah, I think Keenan was there.
Keenan told me the exact same story. Go ahead.
So, Spank is talking about how he is 100-0 in fighting. And people are like, yeah, right. I'm like, no, this motherfucker is that dude. When I was a kid, you heard Spank just knock somebody else out. Damn, another one? Damn, Spank. And so Denzel's listening, and he gets up. Well, knock me out, motherfucker.
Yep, same story.
Knock me out, motherfucker. You so goddamn bad. Knock me the fuck out. Spank without batting the eye goes, no, because then I'd be 101. And fucking Denzel starts fucking laughing. And we all fucking laugh. And it was fucking Hurricane Training Day Malcolm X tense. You so bad, motherfucker, knock me out. Get up, bitch, knock me the fuck out. Spank goes, nope, because then my record would be 101. Yo, he fell on the ground laughing. I fell on the ground laughing. I was so scared. I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker is real. And so it made me know that Spank either knew Denzel well or, I don't know, it was weird. But then the funniest part is, after that, then there was a plane waiting for him to go to...
So this is the exact same story. I was about to bring up, did he miss his flight?
So yeah, the fucking plane. I think that's the first time I heard the word tarmac. There's a plane waiting for him on the tarmac to go to Teterboro. I was like, what the fuck is... No, he was shooting... I don't want to say Eyes Wide Shut. Whatever the movie was with Sanaa and Dean Cain.
Yeah.
And he was like, fuck that plane. And this motherfucker's
out of time or something. No,
yeah, out of time. Out of sight, out of time.
Something like, out of sight.
He's drinking. They're drinking. I don't drink, but these motherfuckers are drinking wine like kings, like fucking gourds. Bring on the fat lady, whatever. And so all of a sudden we can't find him. And then we go outside and Denzel is knocked out.
On the lawn, right?
Yes. On a bench on the lawn with one sock off. And Daryl, he said the funniest joke ever. He said, you're going to wake up in the morning and there's going to be a wolf licking vomit off Denzel's lips. But that's one of the coolest motherfuckers you'll ever meet.
Who, Denzel?
I used to hoop with Denzel.
I heard he's cool like
that.
That
motherfucker's so god. Like somebody just ooze cool. He walk in the gym, cool. He fucking pass you the ball. Like he's a regular dude. I remember one time I was in the mall in Atlanta. And you never know how motherfuckers are gonna be outside of LA. Like, he's in the mall and people are like, oh shit. And I was like, D. Motherfucker walked all the way across the mall to come talk to me. And people are like, who the fuck are you that you can call? You can yell D.
Though? I ain't gonna lie. When you know somebody that's iconic or big that the public knows, when they beeline to you, I mean, you stick your chest out a little far. You're like this. Yeah. That's how it is.
Let me tell you another time. I'm in fucking South Beach. It's Memorial Day. Never go to South Beach during Memorial Day. So we're on, is it Ocean?
Yeah, Ocean Boulevard.
We're on Ocean. Is that the street? That's where the ocean is. Yeah. It's fucking packed.
Bananas.
It's banana. Yo, son, they're shooting any given Sunday this week, this month. And I'm with my ex and we're having breakfast. And Jamie Foxx is in traffic in a yellow Ferrari or Testarossa. Testarossa? Is that what it's called?
I think it was a Ferrari.
Ferrari. And I go, yo, Jay. He looks. He gets out of the Testarossa or Ferrari in traffic. It's so bumper to bumper. He gets out the car and walks to me and talks to me and my date, my girl, ex-girl, for like 5-10 minutes. The car is still not moving. And people are like, who the fuck are you? He had a bandana on. He looked just like fucking Willie Beeman. Came over, started talking to us, fucking took one of my fucking French toast sticks or whatever and walked off. And like I said, which is the thesis of my whole interview, is that people keep saying that people in Hollywood aren't real friends and they don't work together. It's not true. This guy right here is a testament. I called the motherfucker. He hadn't read the script. First one to say yes, but the last one to sign.
Well, that's funny. Well, that was my biggest thing with the podcast. I go, I'm going to really know how people feel about me. Because basically, I'm asking you guys to take time out of your day.
And drive way the fuck over here. Yes.
And come on. And, that's it. I was like this. Oh, man. We're out the box. I got Tiff and Kev. And everybody came on. I was like this. Ugh. But now, I still feel weird calling people to come on. I'm like, oh, man.
Right.
I know it's an inconvenience.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You know who taught me all they can say is no is actually Pookie. This motherfucker will ask anybody anything and is fearless. He'd be like, Barack, you should come to Chocolate Sundays. He says, what's the worst they could say?
You know my issue with Pookie Wigginton, right?
Mm-mm.
Then when they had the sketch show Chocolate Sunday,
yeah,
they stole one of my jokes.
Oh yeah.
Pookie didn't steal it.
Right.
Somebody stole it.
Talking about the N-word.
Yeah, when I called Pookie about it, I said, Pookie, I don't have an issue with you. Just tell me who wrote it. Who wrote it? And Pookie's like, we got a think tank and couldn't tell me who wrote it. I go, somebody stole it, dude. I said, all you had to do was ask me. I would have said yes. All I would have said was,
or I would have did
bit by Gary Owen. I go, I don't do the joke anymore. But I was just like, oh, people were hitting me. I go, oh, they stole that shit. Oh.
I have the greatest stolen joke story in the history of stolen jokes. To me. So D-Ray calls me one night. He goes, yo, I was in the pickle the other night. And you know the joke you do about there's hoes in the audience? I go, yeah. He goes, I did it. I apologize. I said, no problem, dude. Is that it killed? He said, it fucking killed. I was like, okay. He calls me a couple months later. He goes, yo. I go, what? He goes, you saw my special last night. I go, that's great. He goes, you know that joke we do? The joke we do. Oh, I said, yo, you're a genius.
Oh, God.
It's yours.
Oh, my God. You gave it to him?
I mean, it's on a special now. I hadn't been doing it. And it's one of those kind of jokes that come out of, like, improv. You know what I mean?
That's
and
so fucking funny.
And he's an improv dude, too.
Hey, you know that joke we do together? Yeah, that one?
Yeah, it's on special.
It's killing.
It's on D-rated or whatever the fuck his name of the special was. Yo, that shit made me scream. You know that joke we do?
D-Ray. Well, at least he called and told you.
What can I say?
I'll be laughing too.
Oh, I screamed.
All right, man. Well, I know I don't know what you gotta do. You gotta
go edit your
this
shit.
movie. Make sure I'm in it.
I'm
What's the goal? Let me ask you this. So the movie's called Back on the Strip. It's gonna come out in 2022.
Yeah.
What do you want to happen? Like perfect world.
Theaters,
obviously.
Definitely go to theaters, right? Hopefully 3,000 screens. Then go to streaming. And then I want to be the Judd Apatow of our community. I would say Woody Allen, but whatever. I want to do Chris Spencer movie. I want you to be able to go to a movie theater. You know, you could see an Adam Sandler movie without even seeing Adam Sandler yet.
Yeah.
You go, that's an Adam Sandler movie. That's a Tyler Perry movie. Like, I want to do movies for us, by us. And I don't necessarily mean just black people, but our brand of humor.
Your culture. Basically.
Our culture. And become that kind of a filmmaker. Because I've already got offers already. The movie ain't even out yet. I got 3 movie offers, 3 or 4.
You gonna submit it to the film festivals? What are you gonna do with it?
I don't know. I think we want to definitely do the American Black Film Festival. Maybe be the opening, closing, or the featured movie at that festival. But I don't know. We're doing the slam dances and the Sundance is already now. So we
do Cannes.
I don't know. Venice. I don't know.
We do Cannes. I'm gonna pull Monique. You take me away from my family. I need to get paid to go to Cannes.
Yeah. So we'll pay you, Gary.
We're gonna edit this out. By the
yes.
way. That little segment we're gonna edit.
Oh yeah, especially because you're in the Monique history. Have you seen her since then?
I've always said I don't have an issue with Monique. I had an issue with throwing Will Packer into the same sentence as Harvey Weinstein.
Right.
That was when I was like,
no.
And nobody was saying anything. Everybody's saying, but I said, I never comment on should she get paid by Netflix at all. I said, at nothing. I go, but at some point I'll be like, somebody gotta say something. I don't know why I felt the need to step in.
Right.
I was in a mood. I was like this. And that was right when I was going through some stuff personally.
Right.
I don't know. It just caught me on a day, and my daughter smart off to me in the car, and I was like, hey, what? But Will Packer called me immediately. Hey, thanks, man. That was a lot, man. Thanks.
I love Will. His hats.
He's got a whole theater named after him at Florida A&M.
Yeah, that happened last weekend at Homecoming.
Yeah, that's great. I don't have shit.
Is there nothing in Cincinnati?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought that's why you put this up, because your name was...
No, that was my last show. That let me tickets sold.
That's Bengal. What's it called? Is it called Bengal Stadium? What's it called?
That's the old stadium. That's old Riverfront.
Yeah, Riverfront.
That's the old stadium.
Are you in there somewhere?
No, they just found it. It was like an iconic picture. You can tell by how the camera guy is. It's
right,
old.
right.
That's an old picture. Jesus. It's cold.
Who's the quarterback?
That one?
Like Bernie Kosar or some shit?
No, Boomer. Well, they got 14 there. I don't know who that is. I don't know. 14, was that Ken Anderson? Well, no, that 2-day, that looks like in the 90s. Right. It's in the 90s.
58?
That's definitely in the 90s. Yeah. There's another 58. I don't know. That could have been. There's 85. That might be more recent. That could be early 2000s because Ocho Cinco.
Ocho Cinco's 85, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the new stadium then. Huh. I didn't know that.
See,
anyways.
That's why I'm here.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Tell the wife I said hi.
Absolutely.
Tell the kids I said hi.
Tell the
I love your kids, man.
Tell
they're so good.
Can you tell the
nature.
ex-wife I said hi? No.
Well, we don't talk.
Oh.
Right now. I think we'll be friends again when it's all said and done.
Yeah. I think she. I don't know.
It's love and war, and
yes.
right now we're at the war part.
Right.
But I don't. You know a lot
mm-hmm.
that I told you off air, but I was just like, man, it's just. I didn't think it was gonna be this ugly.
Right.
It's uglier behind the scenes than in front.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, oh.
And now that you're dating Wendy Williams, that shit's crazy. That was the funniest shit ever. I was like, no, he's not.
Dude, that was so awkward. I was like, I didn't know we were gonna go this route. And their producer, like right before I went on stage, warned Wendy's excited about the day. I was like this. Okay. And then I walked out there and started getting ready. I was like, what's going on right now? I just got put on like The Bachelor.
Right.
That's
funny.
But all right, man.
Thank you.
We
where can you find me? I gotta learn how to do that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because I don't.
Got a website?
Yeah. No. Do you have a website?
I did.
Is it mandatory?
No.
Good. Instagram, The Real Chris Spencer. TikTok, is that important?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm learning. I think it's just Chris Spencer. And Facebook for your older audience, Chris Spencer. And then
Facebook's
and
where
a
you
lot
sell
of people
tickets.
from jail are still here. So my MySpace is Chris Spencer. And then
Jesus.
you have an older audience too.
Wow.
Yeah. So on Black Planet, Chris Spencer.
Man, miss those days.
AOL people, Chris Spencer.
Well, don't you have a radio show too with your wife, right?
Yeah, date night with Chris and Vanessa. We go back up. I don't know when this comes out. The beginning of November, and it's on Sirius XM. And we're going from a regular radio station to a podcast now because my wife is so political, and Kevin Hart's
My God.
LOL is a laugh out loud network, and sometimes she says stuff that you may not laugh out loud.
Your
so
wife's on another level.
they want to give her the freedom to be able to have her, for lack of a better word, political rants.
Her rants on social media, and then when you see her, like when I saw her on set, I was like, "Are you the same person? Are you the same person?" You know what I mean? I thought she had a fist in the air and a pick.
Dude, she's fucking in the shower last night with the fucking governor's race in the background, like it was Al Jarreau or Teddy Pendergrass. I'm like, you can't like this shit that much. Her father's like that. She's like that. Like she grew up in that kind of a house.
Oh,
Like she really cares.
I don't.
Either. And I think that bothers her.
I don't, because our lives are different.
Our lives are different.
They're still buying tickets.
That's
People are going out. That's all I worry about. Now, if you're gonna tell me we can't go to comedy clubs,
Boom.
that was my issue with COVID, because the Republican states were open, and that's the truth. Florida was open, Ohio was open, Texas was open, so we were able to work. Those 3 states kept more comics afloat during COVID, me included. I was just like, and they all had one thing in common: they are Republican heavy. And we did not want to close. We wanted to keep our businesses open. Mm-hmm. So it was like a catch-22. Like, I get both sides, but I was like, I'm not watching this.
I got you.
I'm not watching this.
Right.
That's the truth.
It's true.
All right, man.
Thanks for having
Appreciate
me.
you coming on, man. What is that? Is that a Polaroid? All right. Let's see it real quick. Watch this.
Yeah, that's dope.
Hey.
Remember all that.
All right, man. Thanks.